Hey guys, it's Tony from Pop Nuts again, and this arrived for me today. What is that? It's the new Thug Elite Team Frame. Quite excited about this, so let's crack it open and see what we first think about the frame. Right, well, as you can see, it comes in a jiffy bag. Inside that jiffy bag is just a plastic bag with your frame. Look at that! Wow, nice. And some stickers. Brilliant. Always good to have stickers. As you can see, banana for scale. Oh yeah, there you go. There's the official Prop Nuts banner, banana for scale. And you can see it's quite a big frame, but about 210 sized. First impression, well, it comes assembled. When I first got out of the bag, actually, I thought, it's quite a heavy frame, but when you check the spec online, I think they quote 130 grams all in, including the pod. It's about 100 grams for the base plate and about 30 grams for the pod. So it's not actually too bad, because your standard carbon kind of QAVX is about 100 grams on its own. So, yep, nice and not too heavy then. I've had a closer look at it. I mean, when you play about with the arms a bit, in terms of kind of stiffness of the frame, you can see it's pretty stiff. You can feel a little bit of flex, but don't even know if you can see that. So I'd say it doesn't flex any more so than a carbon frame does, and absolutely rock solid in the other direction. So this direction just doesn't bend at all, which is brilliant. So overall, yeah, base plate is so strong. This is my first HD PE frame. The machining on it is nice and well finished as well. You can see the surfaces are clean. The cuts are very clean. There's some kind of loose bits of plastic and swarf you can still see in there, but they'll just scrape off clean. You can see they've actually cut through the HDPE all the way, so I'm not really worried about that. That's good. There's some kind of vents at the bottom there. Keep your electronics a bit cool. Maybe let some water in, so undecided whether I'll tape them up or not. Apart from that, you've got some recessed cutouts for your motors. From what I can see, it looks like it's about a 15mm kind of thick frame, maybe slightly more, and there looks like a fair amount of that thickness is left for the motor support, kind of the base plate of the motor, so that's good. Hello, Pussy. Hi. Right. So yeah, that's good. The pod as well. You can see it's not the highest resolution print in the world, but it is pretty darn good. The fit with the frame is bang on. You can see as the motor, the pod bolts fit perfectly fine. So yeah, all in all, it's functional. I've seen online as well. This only comes in white at the moment, the pods, but you can dye them with a dye powder that you get, which is mainly for clothing, but it seems to work quite well on these pods. So you literally dip it into boiling water with the dye in it, and it absorbs the colour. There's really not much else to say about the pod, apart from there's a good video online done by Thug where they beat the thing with a hammer and show how robust it is. There's a little bit at the back there for an antenna, VTX antenna, and I'm guessing your kind of maybe other antennas or your battery leads might come out somewhere as well, around there. There's no other holes on top apart from a couple of holes for the slot for your GoPro or your HD camera to sit on the back of the frame there. It's nice and flat for that. The rest of the pod's nice and flat for batteries as well. There's space in there for an HS1177 camera, couple of little screw holes you can kind of see to hold that camera as well. There are also some cutouts for your ESC cables or your motor cables, depending where you're going to place them. So yeah, not really a huge amount else to say about the frame, apart from that I'm really impressed actually, initial impression. Loads of stickers, thank you. So the next step is going to be putting it together, see how we get on. So yeah, I really can't wait to build this thing. There's another actually quite clever feature that they've done, is the way, you see the way they've secured the bolts, the pod to the frame. There's hex head Allen key bolts on either side. So I'll just take one of them out to show you what they're like, but this is a really clever way of doing it. The other way is to use inserts which are bonded or frictional fit inside the frame. They tend to pull themselves out after a little while, so this will be a nice robust way to secure the frame. The only down point is they don't give you any spare bolts, but I mean, hopefully a little bit of Loctite means I won't ever lose any of them, but we'll show you what they look like. Okay, got the pod off. You can see inside of the pod there. It's not a bad print, but functional. Right, you'll notice that you can see these kind of standoffs which they've inserted inside the pod. It's a really clever design, because what you can do is you secure the insert from a bolt at the top, which kind of spreads the load into the pod. They stick out the bottom, and then that fits into the frame. That's the inside of the frame. And you can secure them from the bottom as well. So the real clever thing is that you won't, it really helps the strength of the pod, because it won't simply just rip the insert out the pod. So get a bit of design work. Other engineering geek thing, actually, if you can't always see it, but it's actually their proper steel grade 10.9 bolts, which, if you aren't familiar with engineering speak, they're actually proper engineering bolts, which won't hopefully strip off very easily, which is always good. It's they're a lot stronger than the kind of aluminium bolts that you might get with cheaper frames. So that's good. So all in all, the really nice bit of work, guys, from Thug. This is my first Thug frame, so I'm really excited to actually put it together. Another bit of geek talk for you. The plastic which they've used for 3D printing this is an engineering nylon. Now, I had a look on the website of the company supplying that material, and the statistics on it are, the figures on it are very impressive from an engineering standpoint. So very strong plastic, and I suspect this will survive for quite a while. Let's have a quick weigh of the frame and see how much it weighs. See if it lives up to the 130 grams which they claim it is. So let's have a look. Okay, you can see my scales are pretty much zeroed. Thug frame on. Oh, 140 grams. Okay, slight bit heavier than the said it was. 130 if I remember correctly, but I mean, it's not a big thing really, to be honest. But 140 grams of the frame all in. Maybe it's about 40 grams heavier than your kind of QVX, but I'm starting to think that this is going to be a lot more robust. Let's have a quick comparison as well of size. So there's a QEVX clone, and that's my Thug on top of it. So yeah, okay, it's a little bit bigger. Bigger's better, right? Hard to judge there, you can see, okay. Well, we'll see how it flies. The QVX is actually a very compact frame. You can see the size difference in the pod as well. So it's going to be a kind of reasonable amount of room to play with. Okay. Banana. Right. Yep. Alright, really not much else to say about this thing, this Thug frame at the moment, except from thanks to the guys at Thug for actually dispatching them so quickly. I got it 2 days after the release date, so very impressed with how bang on they were with that. And I just cannot wait to put it together. Unfortunately, I have a wedding to go to this weekend, so it's going to have to wait till next week, guys. But yeah, keep you all posted about how this builds. I've got a whole raft of components for it, including some nice X Novas, KISS ESCs and flight controller and a tramp as well. So yeah, looking forward to it. Yep, see you again soon.